I've got Howard Post here. Thank you for taking the time. We're at the Prix West 2025. So if people are watching this 50 years from now, they go, oh, wow, they still did that thing with real art, with humans. So,
and I was still alive.
he was alive, I was alive. These were really things that were happening. So you've been painting as an active artist since the late 70s, right?
Yep.
And in that time frame, you've done, do you have any idea how many shows you've done in that time? I mean, that's 50 years basically, 45 years. Any sense at all?
Number of shows, I'd say 5 a year maybe.
5 a year, yeah.
Average, sometimes.
So 250 shows, plus museum shows. You've had 4 major museum shows? Yeah, right?
We figured out that the number of paintings, I was averaging like 40 to 50 paintings a year times since 1980. That would be 50 years, that many paintings, So.
Yeah, so when you get to this point in your career and your life, I mean, what are the reflections that you have about being a painter that long and doing that much art?
I feel fortunate, really.
Yeah.
Blessed to be able to do that.
Grateful, yeah.
It's been fun. I enjoy painting. Enjoyed it then, and I still enjoy it.
Right.
I'm not working at it as fast as I was.
Yeah.
There may be more demand now than there was back
it's
then,
interesting. There is a lot of demand now. But you also have to live, and you have to do things with family and friends too.
I've had other aspects of my life. My roping addiction that went on for a long time, and of course we have a big family.
Yeah, you have 5 children.
So all those things take time, and
right.
glad to spend time with those things. But if I were just an artist, quote artist,
right,
I'd have a lot bigger output probably.
Yeah, and you have your church. You work heavily on that too. Yeah, you have a life beyond art, even though art is your life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure we've been showing together for 30 years basically, and I'm not sure there's been a time we didn't have a conversation, we didn't talk about art at some point.
Yeah.
And you've been so consistent in that time frame, I think. And I see a painting like this, which is the Bronco pen, which is, it's another masterpiece. I mean, it's, both my son Charles and I, we showed up and we looked and we go, man, Howard hit it.
Oh, cool.
And is that something that, as you get into the latter part of your career, you think about going, I hope I'm still able to do what I want to do?
I want it to be competent,
Yeah, well, clearly it's competent.
And you say a masterpiece. I'm honored you say that, but I have self-doubts. I go, I sweated over this one. Is this one good enough? I even asked Susan Patterson, is this piece good enough to be in the show?
Oh my God. Yes, yes, it definitely is good. I mean, it's quintessential what you do.
I think most artists are a little concerned about their work. Well, I guess I can't speak for most artists, but for me, I'm always a little worried about.
Does it meet the?
Yeah.
I mean, I find that amazing, and yet humbling that at your level of artist mastery and 250 shows, and that you still have that component in you. Go, is it good? But I get it. I love that actually about you, that you can do that and meaningfully say that, even though.
No, I'm not just saying that. I mean,
I know.
Those are real.
I know you
real
well
thoughts.
enough to know that. Yeah.
So I have to go get Marilyn to come in and say, is this thing any good?
Yeah. I think that's important. Yeah. And I bet when there is an issue, she's probably pretty frank with you.
She's pretty good about pointing out little things that I've looked at this painting so long, I don't recognize things that might be bothersome.
Right. And that does get hard, right? When you get so close to something that you need another set of eyes sometimes to do it.
And not just any set, but Marilyn's pretty astute at that.
Yeah, well, it's your second set, really, I would think. She knows more about your art than anybody.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, for sure. she knows way more than I do, because she sees it from a different component, right?
Well, I've called you before and asked for your perspective because I like what you have to say, and I respect your opinions. So
I'll be straightforward.
So no, I don't need to be patronized.
No.
I need somebody to really give it to me straight.
Yeah, and I think that's hard for sometimes dealers to understand that if you have a relationship which gets to that level, and we've had 30 years together, you can do it. Ed would do that with me too on occasion. That you're asking a true opinion and not to sugarcoat it and go, you're great, or this is a great painting, but to give you honest some kind of feedback. Often I'm going to say, I really like it, and sometimes that's all maybe you needed to hear.
Yeah. I'm always skeptical about people that come by and say, "Oh man, you're great. Those paintings are great." I'm like, did they really mean that, or they're just?
Yeah. Did they really look at it?
Yeah. So, because when you come to these shows, everybody said, "Hey, nice show,"
Right.
And okay, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
But I bet you also can tell when you see the artists that come up and really examine the work, right? You can see they're looking.
I appreciate that, of course.
Yeah, of course. And I'm sure there's, even in this group, I don't even know how many artists there is. 100? Is there 100 artists there?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a lot. But even in this group, I consider to be basically the best Western native artists, working today. Yours do stand out, I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, color, composition, subject, sensibility, the way you approach the color and paint. But it's a double-edged sword. I'm sure when you come to a show like this, do you go, okay, I'm a little different? Does that enter your mind, or you just don't care because you're Howard Post? And when I say you're Howard Post, I don't mean it like that. I mean it in the sense, this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is how I paint.
So early on, when they invited me into the show, I was pretty aware of it because one of the board pulled me aside and said, "Hey, look, just want you to know you're a token contemporary artist.
Yeah.
Because you have a different style,
Right.
a different approach." So I'm pretty aware. Oh, okay, I guess
Yes.
I am. But
Yes.
I try not to be conscious of that. I try to just do what I do, and
Yeah, no, I know.
hopefully it fits in. But sometimes it doesn't fit in because each show has a kind of a majority of their buyers or have a certain interest level, types of work that they like, more conservative or
more straight tradition, whatever, tight.
And that's the case in this show sometimes, but occasionally they get new buyers that come in that have a fresh approach to it.
Yeah, and I think they're bringing in different artists too that will complement, that other set of tastes that are out there. And Oklahoma City has some great tastes, but you have Brett Allen Johnson and Logan Ajez and interesting that have a different kind of take on what it is.
I remember hanging out with Ed when he was in this show, and he was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, he's not worried about selling paintings, but he was wondering if he was going to fit in. I said, "Man, if you don't fit in, they're crazy,
Yeah. Yeah, no, he voiced those same concerns, and he said he had a great time, and he was really happy he did it, and it was I think a high point of maybe his career in some respects, because it is, I think, nice to be recognized as in the community, but maybe at a different kind of point in how the culture maybe looks at art. I mean, you're one of the most Western guys in here. How long you're a state rodeo champ, professional rodeo. How many years did you rope? 60, 70? I don't know how long.
From age 12 to 72.
Yeah, 60 years. Yeah, 60 years. So, I mean, that gives you cred. You should. When I look at these horses, I'm pretty sure you know something about a horse.
Yeah. The caption in the catalog is these are the Bronx pen.
Yes.
In the rodeo, they use the biggest and rankest horses for saddle bronc riding.
Yeah.
Because they're the toughest. And this pen is that group. So.
And so when you paint this, and you've been on broncs, and
they weren't supposed to be broncs. I never rode broncs in that event, but horses I've been on turned into broncs.
Yeah. So, okay, same kind of thing. So, but you know the look in the eye or whatever it is. And what is it about these that you go, this is a horse you got to be careful about? Is there anything in the way they stand or?
So because they're kind of mean, some of them, they're not as, their feet aren't trimmed up as much, their manes are longer, their tails are not manicured, you know, like a regular horse that I would use. So they look a little rougher, basically.
Yeah.
And they're bigger.
You know, it's interesting. They do feel a little more muscular or something.
Yeah.
Now that you say that.
But having said all that, that's really not my main focus of this.
No, of course.
It's just
it's the emotional moment, right?
The design, the color, the emotion of these horses together, you know. So.
And do you start with the title before you do, or when you get you're done and you go, okay, this is what that is?
Titles are the hardest thing for me. That comes last.
Yeah.
90% of the time, you know. And,
I'm guessing the subject and the sense was already all there when you're painting it, though.
Yeah. What attracts me is the design and the light quality of a piece, you know. And titles and all that kind of come in later, you know.
Yeah, it's funny for me. I usually don't remember titles except on an occasion or exceptional painting or an exceptional title, but I'll remember the piece. You know, and one of the things I've noticed, and maybe you could address it a little bit, is that I really feel that you're an abstract painter to some extent, in the sense of, you know, you take just a slice out of that, and, you know, it could be an abstract painting onto itself. And the piece that we have in our home of the steers, to me, is just great abstraction. It just happens to be steers.
Those are my favorite pieces of my own, you know. The ones that have a lot of abstract quality.
Yes.
That's what attracts me to a subject to begin with, honestly, is the abstract qualities about it, you know. And to me, those are my most successful ones.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are more narrative and traditional, but the ones that really speak to me the most or have that abstract quality.
Yes. So. I get that. Yeah, and I like that. I like the narrative things too, but the abstract ones, and they do have something that is a little different, I think.
Tim Lawson, Alan Lawson, we've discussed that before. You know, he admires that about my work, and I like that about his.
Yes.
That his are kind of abstract pieces, but they're very detailed.
Yes.
He's pulled it off where he can really put extreme detail in them, and they still come off as being an abstract quality.
Right. Yeah, so. You can do that. Jeff Ailing did that with his pieces, as a matter of fact. Yeah. And then you have the other thing, which is the simplicity, right? Your posts, fence posts. I mean, I think those are like brilliant pieces. And
it's still kind of my credo is to simplify to the essence, you know.
Simplify to the essence.
There was a point in my career where I did a lot of detail.
Yes.
And quickly realized that wasn't my thing.
Yes.
I didn't care about the detail as much as the overall quality of it.
The quality, composition, and emotion.
Yeah.
And I know on those posts there's an emotion. It's back to your father, right? I mean, putting those pieces into the ground.
Yeah.
You know, with a guy who wanted you to make sure you did it right, I'm sure.
Yeah. So a fellow here from Oklahoma City was just saying the town is going to do some kind of mural about the Oklahoma City stockyards.
Oh, they should, yeah.
And he said, hey, we know the guy that can do that for you.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's your other thing, is fences, right? Yeah. And stockyards, whatever you want to call them, chutes and things like that. And what is it about those pieces that is so compelling to you?
Again, it's the abstract quality, the angularity of them.
Right.
The found objects in them, you know.
Yes.
And Fort Worth stockyards, same way. I've done a whole bunch.
Yes.
I know you've sold some of those for me. Just the abstract quality again.
Right. You know, I mean, I think if anybody takes anything away from listening to this is when they think about you, is don't just think of he's a Western painter that does horses or steers. That's part of it, but it really is this sense of modernism that you've had since day one, you know, 60 years ago, basically, when that was not looked upon in a favorable way either, right? You know, I mean, I don't have to tell you.
Well, it was years. For years, I was in just contemporary galleries.
Yes.
You know, the Prix West and all these more traditional shows didn't want anything to do with me, of course. But then they started to see that they needed to expand, you know.
Yes.
That's when I started getting invited to be in these shows.
Yeah, because you're in Suzanne Brown and other places. My gallery, where we've always had this thematic of contemporary Western and Native. I mean, it's just what I gravitate to. You know, I have some that are very tight and things like that too, but, you know, it's funny. I've heard, you know, I won't say who the dealers are, but they didn't get this modern West until just recently. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I didn't really understand what you were doing, and now I kind of get it.
Yeah, hearing Thomas Blackshear's talk today about his career, you know, and about, I mean, he was such a good illustrator and
so good,
executed so well. That,
exactly.
For him to be accepted so heartily into the Western regime is pretty cool.
Yeah, and he came a little later, which was helpful.
Yeah,
I think he said he's been doing it 12 years. It's easier. It's easier. It's more accepted now.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's embraced, quite frankly. I think, in fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really do. I think people are going, oh, this is something, you know. And I put you with Ed Mell, Billy Shank, Fritz Scholder, these individuals that were at the forefront of modern West innovation. Do you see yourself in that group?
Yeah, in hindsight, you know, at the time I never thought I'm blazing the path here, you know, doing contemporary stuff.
I'm sure not.
I was just doing what I was doing, you know, and Billy and Ed were fellow travelers in that effort, you know. But yeah, hindsight is easy to see that.
Yeah, you can see it now, right? I mean, I see it.
But that was never my intent, you know.
Yeah.
And I think Thomas Blackshear would say that was not his intent either,
No,
you know.
absolutely not. I'm sure it wasn't.
He was getting inspiration, he says, from God about what to paint, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll have to say, I can't blame all of my pieces on God, you know. I do feel some inspiration from time to time. You
I'm
know,
sure.
But I think to him sometimes it doesn't matter, you know, what I paint, or we just.
Yeah, I always, you know, one of the things I've told people over and over through our 30-year history is that Howard Post is not a particularly fast painter, but every painting that comes out of his studio is going to be the best that he could do. And I do think that summarizes who you are, quite frankly. You strive for the best, whatever that is.
And it bugs me when they're not the best, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, some of them suck, you know. I mean, I say that, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But, and I'm always, when I see them again, I'm always thinking, oh, I want to get that one back, and I want to fix this or change that. A lot of artists do that too.
I think all the greats do, actually.
Yeah, and I find out the old guys, they did that a lot, you know.
Yeah. Dixon had worked on them for long periods of time. Even if it was just a little thing, it might have not been much he did, just very minor. He would add another date. You know?
Yeah, I've been doing that a bit lately. And, so I enjoy it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's enjoyable because I work with people like you guys.
Thank you.
And I've worked with folks that weren't like you guys, and that kind of takes a negative edge to it.
It does. You had one of those galleries that had ripped you off when we started to work.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think you were very careful for a reason before you hired me to work with you.
So it's been great to have honest people to work with all these years.
Friends.
And friends.
Yeah.
And friends.
Yeah.
And now to see your son coming in with you guys,
I know, right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a gift for me.
That's a great one. So thanks. Thanks for taking time to talk.
Oh yeah. No, I you know, we talk all the time. I never get tired of hearing your take on the world and how you see your vision, your place in it. I mean,
I don't talk any faster than I used to, by the way.
no, but you don't talk any slower, so that's good. But I do think with time you now have ability to go retrospectively and think, where your place, your legacy is. I think that happens when you get to a certain point in your career and life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's happening at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get a few more years to enjoy the process. And so.
Yeah, we both hope that.
Yeah.
Howard Post, thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate you doing this for us.
Thanks for your friendship.
All right, absolutely. Howard Post.
And Charles, too.
Yeah, and Charles always.